while back, we did a video all about one thing that we would change for each roller coaster at Cedar Point. People seemed to like the video, and one person made a comment in the comment section that said that we should do the same thing for Kings Island. And since we've been there so many times, we feel comfortable enough to give our opinion about one thing that we would change. So this isn't about being nitpicky or anything like that. A lot of these things aren't necessarily realistic or whatever. It's just a fun video. So relax, people. Just enjoy the video. So we're going to start up at the front, that roller coaster that you see right when you walk into the park, that beautiful ride, Invertigo.
Yeah, best coaster at the park.
Now, the one thing that we would change about this ride is that we would tear it down. It's absolutely worthless. People don't enjoy it. Nobody likes that ride. Take that thing down, redo the entrance, and build a nice roller coaster like in the front entrance, like Gatekeeper at Cedar Point or Fury at Carowinds. And that would make Kings Island, that would just improve Kings Island immensely. So I think just getting rid of it altogether is what they need to do to Invertigo. Leave a thumbs up if you agree with that. If you're Invertigo haters, leave a thumbs up. Honestly, I've never even rode the thing. You have?
Yeah, I have once a while ago, maybe kind of dizzy, and I wasn't a big fan of it, but it was a long time ago, like years ago.
Next, we're taking that long hike all the way back to the Bat. Now, we had a hard time figuring out what we would change about this ride because we both like it so much, and you pretty much said that you almost wouldn't change anything about it.
I mean, the whole point of this video is changing one thing about everything, so we had to figure out something, but it was difficult to find stuff because I really like every aspect of it. Like, it's different how you walk so far back there, and I like that.
The one thing that I would change to make it better, I gotta tell you, once you get up to the top of the lift hill, you just kind of like cruise along like some straight track, and you're just dangling there. And honestly, every time I ride that thing, I feel like we're just going to like a valley and get stuck there. There's going to have to be a fire department that's going to have to come up and bring a ladder and get us out. So that part just scares me. I'm always like, okay, please make it to that drop. So the one thing that I would personally change is I would make the drop straight after the lift hill.
I mean, I don't mind it. I like it. It's different, but that's what you say.
Now we're on to the B&M Invert Banshee. This thing is great. Not much that we can think that we would change about it, but the biggest thing is that we just wish that it didn't have to replace Son of Beast. Now, obviously, Son of Beast had a lot of issues and stuff.
It had to be removed. I mean, it wasn't realistic for the park to keep it.
Yeah, it was a dangerous ride, poorly constructed, but it just upsetting that it had to replace such an iconic ride.
Mm-hmm.
So all things perfect in a perfect world, it would have been great if Banshee didn't have to replace Son of Beast.
And Son of Beast was still here and it wasn't a big mess. Number 4, we have Adventure Express. One of the best coasters in the world, I think. So Adventure Express, one thing that we would change about it is going up that final lift hill. They have the monkeys doing this and they're like, you're about to die. And then you go straight into the brake run. And it's a very anticlimactic ending. Like, everything's building up, it's getting tense, and it's like, what's going to happen? And it's just like a 2-foot drop into the brake run.
Now on to the original roller coaster at Kings Island, Racer. And I think that you guys can guess the one thing that we would change about this to make it better. In fact, pause this video, go down to the comment section before we even give our answer to this, and let us know exactly what you would change about Racer right now to make it better.
At this very millisecond.
6.5 hours later.
And while you're down there, why don't you give this video a thumbs up, because you know you're already enjoying it. And if you're not a subscriber, why don't you subscribe to this video? It helps us out immensely. And if you want to go the extra step, you can be like one of these people right here that joined our channel membership page. They help out the channel oh so much, and in return they get things like exclusive videos, some early content. Like this video may actually be a little bit early to our premium channel members.
Yeah, channel
and they get shout outs and stuff like that. So it helps us out, helps them out. So it's a give and take relationship. So go check that out if you are so inclined. But now back into what we would do about the Racer. Obviously, we'd have one train going backwards.
Yeah, just like the good old days. Because before, they would have one side of Racer go backwards, one go forwards. Then they ended up changing it, so now both go forwards. And it would just be really nice if they brought back the one backwards train. Next up is Backlot, a coaster that we ride almost every time we go to Kings Island because it is a very fun ride.
We enjoy it.
But one thing that we don't absolutely love about it is the triple helix at the very beginning. It is a little bit dizzying. You go.
Sometimes it doesn't bother me at all.
Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know.
Sometimes it does.
Usually it makes me pretty dizzy. It's not like the biggest deal, but it can make you pretty dizzy because it's a very long and compact helix.
Now we're going to the other premier launch coaster in the park, Flight of Fear. And I think the worst thing about most all premier rides are the trains.
Yeah, even like the older premieres like Flight of Fear, or even the newer ones like Icebreaker, have bad trains and trains that are impossible to get in and very uncomfortable.
Premier, can you make some trains that we can get in and out of?
Seriously, these things, it is impossible to get from like one seat to the other. You gotta like crawl through and move this thing, and it's so hard.
Oh my God, why can't they just make something that you can get in and out of without like being a contortionist? Yeah, so Flight of Fear definitely change the trains, do something. Come on, Premier. This next one, we kind of disagree with about this. He's crazy and doesn't agree with me. But we are moving on to Diamondback, and I say get rid of the rattle. If you sit in the back row, that thing shakes you, especially after the turnaround. Once you hit that valley, right after that turnaround, you just shake so roughly.
Yeah, it is. It does have a rattle, but it's not bad at all. Like, it's not, it's like, oh, there's a little bit of a rattle, but I've ridden like 100 coasters with worse rattles than Diamondback.
No.
Liar! The airtime makes up for it. So
I mean, the airtime's great. So if you got rid of that rattle, then that would thing would be great.
I mean, I agree with getting rid of the rattle because it would make it a little bit better, but the rattle still isn't that bad, and I still love Diamondback.
So now moving on to another coaster that we are big fans of. We are big fans of the Beast. Now, what would we do to change the Beast? I kind of joked around and said they should just make it permanently night back there. Like if they could figure out a way to just take away all light so you're always getting a night ride on Beast, that would be great. But we chose something else with this.
We chose something else, and that is to make it trimless.
Ooh.
Like something like Voyage at Halloween Night, but permanent, which isn't possible, but it would sure be nice if it was.
All right, next up, we have both of our favorite roller coaster at Kings Island, Mystic Timbers. This thing is amazing, but I have to say the one thing that I would change is do something with the shed. I mean, the shed got such big hype and stuff.
Oh yeah, if you remember when Mystic Timbers opened, it was the biggest like deal. Oh my God, what's in the shed? What's in the shed?
Is there going to be drop track?
Is there going to be a backwards launch?
Yeah, what's going to happen in the shed?
Nobody knew, and it was a big deal. And then when people finally rode it, people were extremely disappointed because
you got some music and a screen of either a tree or a snake or bats or whatever.
Yeah.
Coming at you and like
and
screaming
it's like
at you
it's
and stuff. I mean, it's fun.
There's nothing wrong with the shed. It's the fact that Kings Island hyped it up way too much.
But we got one more roller coaster left, right? We got one more roller coaster at Kings Island left because we're not doing Flying Ace Aerial Chase or Great Pumpkin Coaster. We're not doing any of those.
Express, no.
And we're not doing Snoopy's Soapbox Racers.
Yeah, because we don't know how to make it better yet because we haven't ridden it and nobody's ridden it because it doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, so we are finishing up with Orion. Yes, people still to this day, what is it, like 4 years after it's open now, technically, and people still complain about it's not a giga, whatever. Mm-hmm. People, okay, Kings Island and Cedar Fair can call it whatever they want. Yeah, they call it a giga, so it's a giga.
It feels like a giga. I mean, it's not as good as some other gigas, but that doesn't matter. It feels like a giga coaster, so it doesn't matter if it's just, 13 feet shorter. But we gotta say, add the 13 feet and make it a true giga. I know the drop is 300 feet, but it's like, is just the drop, does that make it a giga coaster?
I mean, it does. If they say it does.
If they say it does, whatever.
But just shut everyone up and raise it up 13 more feet, and it's exactly 300 feet. And then, boom, you got yourself a giga.
Yeah,
that absolutely no one will make jokes and say that it's not a giga, which we did our fair share.
But it was a joke.
The first year it opened.
Some people were genuinely upset about it, and I don't care. It's a funny
Yeah,
thing
we
to
were
joke
never
around
upset
about, but it's not a big deal. It's a good ride.
Other than that, it's fun. I mean, is it Fury? No. Is it I-305? No.
It
But
might not even be Leviathan or Millennium, but it's still a good ride.
I
and
prefer it over Millennium. I'm still Team Orion
I think it's
over
my
Millennium.
it's my least favorite Giga out of all the ones that I've ridden, which I've ridden all of them in North America, but it's still I really like Orion still.
I think he was just trying to show off right there. Okay.
No,
But yeah, raise it up 13 feet, and then you got yourself a coaster that absolutely no one can question is a Giga. So listen up, Kings Island. If you take any of these suggestions,
yeah.
then make sure to send the paychecks our way because we came up with these
Yeah,
ideas.
now of course none of these are gonna happen, but it's a fun video.
Probably not. Yeah.
So
Hope you enjoyed the video.
Yeah.
So like we said, if you did, give it a thumbs up. And we got plenty more content coming, so be on the lookout for all our new videos coming. So that is it from us here at Beach Cliff Studios. See ya.